Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Saturday, June 14th, 2014, which traditionally in the United States at any rate has been known as Flag Day, although you rarely hear it referred to that way anymore. Here is my John Deere 870 tractor, and on the back of it you can see my 5-foot woods cutter Dixie model, sort of bush hog equivalent. You know, bush hog's obviously a trademark name, and this is not a bush hog. It's a Dixie cutter made by a company named Woods. Well, I finally bestirred myself here and got myself, fired this bad boy up here. I had to spend a couple of days charging the battery with this fine device, by the way. It's a Black & Decker battery charger, and it was about $105 at Walmart, and I'll tell you, it was about the best $105 I've ever spent. It charges wonderfully, it tells you everything that's going on, and it also has a thing called a reconditioning mode, or cycle, which I'm using right now on my backup diesel generator battery, which since I don't run these very much, I need to, you can't just keep the batteries charged just by running them periodically. So fortunately we've not had many storms this spring. It's been a very quiet spring, but at some point this, since July, historically July is the time we get our power outages in the summer, and I want to get this thing ready to go here for the July. So I went out this morning on this device and mowed some yard. So since I said I mowed some yard, I thought I'd show you a little of the results here, with the big tractor. And I mowed a little bit up toward the trailer there, and knocked a little bit of stuff down there by the little front kind of sidewalk and into the sort of the front area here. You really hadn't seen this stuff. This stuff was really kind of almost chest high, so maybe not right back here, but out in the big front yard area it was. So it had to be done. Actually, last year the earliest I mowed, or the first time I mowed, was May 15th, and so today's June 14th, so I was able to put it off a month, but really, I haven't been able to, it's just been too wet. You don't want to get out there when it's wet, and when you're mowing wet, you're overloading your machinery, and there's no point doing that. So I waited till it was dry. It was very, actually, the temperature this morning was 49, but the dew point was 46, so the grass was actually dry, which, we've been in that sort of prolonged spring where you get sort of fogs and heavy dew and things, and so it was nice to have a bit of a break from that today. So I'll go down here and show you some of this other stuff. It went well. I mean, you never know what you may hit when you go into this deep grass the first time out, and I'm not going to walk you all the way up to the corner house. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I'll give you a little sense of what I did here. Here's sort of the pathway, you know. I'll zoom you up here. You can see this little bit of a yard area. And actually that field there that you see just past that little bed of thistles, I hadn't mowed that at all last year, and watch me flop my ankles over and get crippled here. I can be a real wuss sometimes, I admit, but on the other hand, you know, having had the lateral malleolus of my tibia strike the ground several times when I've done this stuff, you know, I'm a little hinky about it. So you have to bear with me as I move up here through the hayfield. You know, and indeed it is it would provide nice hay, you know. Dear God, it's so beautiful today. Oh, we'll slog up here a bit. I'll give you another view here. Now, as it turns out, I really thought that I'd had more of these ash trees survive from this other, this sort of outer row that I had planted here around 92. But if y'all look up there, oh, here, sorry. If y'all look up there, you can see that there isn't but one out of the 10 or 12 or 13 I planted in that row survive. The emerald ash beetle got them all. Meanwhile, the sycamore is just thriving beyond belief. Check that boy out, and check out this oak tree, and check out sort of like the whole forest area here, which I'll show you from a higher view here. I think these sycamores will actually, these two may survive the little road project here in the next couple of years. One can only hope. So go up here and show you a bit of the field here. I'm not gonna go clear around to the front of that corner house, but give you a little shot here. Little mowing of the field, Now you can see out, well, you can't really see, but trust me, I mowed down along Worthington Road there where you see the traffic going by, and up around the corner on the far side of the house and so forth up there. There's our good neighbor Liz and Henry over there. Well, you can't see them, they're not out, but that's their place. And so you see, how it goes down here. Well, there's our sort of magnificent forest area. So, thanks be to God on that, I'll tell you. I think these thistles are kind of pretty myself. Now, they can be a bit of a nuisance, and I think the state of Ohio officially considers them a bit of a nuisance, but there's a yellow finches really love to feed on the seeds of these thistles, and a few years back when the county or the township sent me another love note, And I mowed down all the stuff, and the yellow finches went away, but I've noticed they've come back this year. And so I've deliberately left this little bit of a patch, and I'm sure there's some more out in the front field that I'm not going to mow at all. And maybe we can get this population of yellow finches back. Look at all those ants scurrying around. They're looking for the main chance, you know. I sort of scraped the ground with my mower there, and you know, they're all scrambling for survival. Well, that's nature's way, isn't it? Survival. Natural selection. Or as the t-shirt says, kill them all, let God sort them out. That was always a favorite big seller there when Soldier of Fortune magazine was very big. I don't know if they still even publish that. I took it for a while, but I'm sure that put my name on any number of government watch lists. Oh, isn't it great, you know, knowing that your government, which is supposed to be subservient to you, is suspicious of you. Okay, one last view down the driveway here now. And a view of our smoothbark hickory, which is thriving, absolutely thriving. It's like a cathedral in here, guys. It's just a cathedral. So we're out on the back deck now, and it's been such a nice day. You know, basically any day you don't get killed when you're on a piece of machinery is a nice day. I didn't used to be such a pussy, guys, but I'll tell you, you know, after a couple of things that have happened to me here, say since 2008, I guess, in 2011, I tend to get a little circumspect and hinky about some of this stuff. But things seem to be improving, so good. Maybe coming out the other side of this stuff, huh? A little bit. Meanwhile, the big red heater's on down in the basement trying to get things dried out, and the dehumidifier is running like mad, and there has been noticeable, well, and the other fan is running there, so there's been noticeable improvement down there. So maybe we can keep the place dried out a bit here to keep the washing machine happy. Well, and me happy too. I mean, I don't like to have it that wet down there, but what are you going to do? You know, I mean, there's no sump hole. I'm not going to spend $20,000 to have the guy come in and dig up the basement floor and put in a sump system. He's not going to do that. So we've been having a lot of fun with this movie that Dan Fry and I put together, and well, he put it together, and I provided some of the material for it. And I've been sending it off to various people I know, and you know, and I don't know. I haven't heard back from very many of them. I heard back from this one good friend of mine. Then I actually sent her response off to Dan, you know, and he was appreciative of getting that response. So it's, you know, Paul noised it around the hotel the other day, and apparently it was quite popular viewing among some of the boys and the girls, if you get my drift, who were on staff at the hotel. And I guess the opening credits were even sort of like the screenshot of the day there during check-in time for a while. So that's good. So he's working right now, and he'll work tomorrow, presumably. Yeah, yes. I mean, he's scheduled anyway. And then he's got some sort of weird double shift arrangement here coming up next weekend, which I don't think the details on that have been quite finalized yet. So I'll have to see how that works out. And of course, tomorrow's Trinity Sunday, and I told you I was going to do something about Trinity Sunday, and I will, but I may have to do it tomorrow after church. I'm going to go to 8 o'clock church, so I should be home by 9:30. I haven't even watched any of the U.S. Open today. That shows you how benign a day it's been in terms of just enjoying being out here in this little cathedral area that God's given us. So with that, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers.